All right, everybody. Welcome to our Fearless Freedom Family Huddle. We're excited tonight. It's a new month. February was great. If you didn't see the shout out on the team page, it was Mayana rocked it in the Success Club department. Who else hit Success Club? Did Casey?
Yeah, Mayana hit SC9.
Yeah, and I think Casey hit Success. Or who else? Rebecca hit Success Club. But what was cool too there were a lot of people that helped people. Like there was a lot of SC1, SC2, SC3, SC4, which showed just that there was a lot of growth in our team of reaching out and helping people, which was really cool to see. And February is a rough month. That's usually why they have the cup. Anytime they announce there's a team cup, know that that's usually because it's a month that is hard business-wise to rally it, which is kind of fun. But I'm excited about March. Spring is here. We had snow and then it got up to 70 the other day in Cincinnati, all on the same day. But I'm excited about tonight's call because March 14th, all of us were included in this Backstage Pass webinar that's being done by Team Courage. And it's being offered where a lot of coaches from our big team family are going to be sharing 15-minute testimonies of the business and the different ways it's helped them. There's going to be such a variety on this call, everything from Megan E. Walton to Rebecca Bain to Carrie Legault and Summer Tucker and Courtney Bell. There's such a variety, guys, of personalities and families, and it's a great opportunity. And I think to invite to see the diversity, but also the passion of our team. And so we were thinking, Michelle and I were planning out the calls for the month. And one thing we were thinking that would be cool to talk about is stepping out of your comfort zone to invite. And something that happened at Toledo Super Saturday in January, Rebecca and April and Grace and I drove up. And it was kind of an aha moment for Rebecca. And she came back really fired up. So we asked her if she would come on tonight and share just about what happened, what clicked, what's been kind of inspiring her, because she's been very much stepping out of her comfort zone, adding to her team, reaching out to people. And I don't want to take over too much time. I want her to talk, but she's been coaching since end of last summer and always been consistent with helping people and inviting them. But something clicked in her where it was about building a team. And it's really beautiful when you see that light bulb go off in someone's head. Now she is on the first day of her 3-day refresh. Small disclaimer. But I'm really thankful. Michelle and I were just pumped to have her here tonight to share because I think it's inspiring and it can re-inspire even some of us who've been around for a while to reconnect to why we do this. So I'm going to pass it on to Rebecca and let her take on.
Hi. Okay, so yes, it is my day one of my 3-day refresh. I am having caffeine because I'm not willing to do a caffeine headache on top of feeling like I'm starving. So I don't know. You'll learn, I feel like, in this journey that we are all adults, and no matter what requirements and what different things we want our challengers to do and we tell them to do, and our programs all have rules, we're adults here. Do what you want to do. I mean, if you're doing a 3-day refresh and you want a little bit of caffeine, have a little bit of caffeine. That's what I say anyway. That's my advice for the night. All right. So Kelly wanted me to share what kind of clicked with me. And I actually couldn't find my notes from our trip in January, but something really did change in January when I went, because we came back from the trip up there and we had a 3-day sneak peek into coaching. And I think I had 11 people in there. And from that, I may have had 4 coaches sign up. Just to give you some perspective, I only have 8 coaches. I had almost 4 coaches sign up after that huge invite. I mean, all that has changed in less than 2 months. I mean, yeah, literally less than 2 months, because it all started kind of in January, and I think we did the sneak peek maybe the end of January. But I'll tell you what I really started doing, and it was sharing my story. Everybody, they always tell us in all of our trainings, you'll hear it a lot, be unapologetically you. You want to attract the people that are most like yourself. those are the people that you're going to want to work with. Those are the people you're going to want to share with. Those are the people you're going to want to be able to lean on and feel comfortable leaning on when this gets hard. Because it's awesome. In the beginning, when I signed up as a coach, I would have done it completely for free. That's why I signed up. I felt God called me to do it. God called me to share all of my struggles, and I really have a passion for changing obesity and children with obesity. It really touches my heart, and I really think that comes from educating the parents. And I was so fired up and so passionate about it. But then I'll tell you, probably in month 4 of being a coach, I took a dip. I'd been working really hard. I'd been diving in. I'd been reading personal development, but I was not inviting to the opportunity. I wasn't inviting. I wasn't sharing how fun this was. I wasn't sharing that I love doing these calls and seeing everybody every week. And I mean, guys, in our team page, lean in there. I mean, I feel like when you start to lean in and you start to connect with other coaches in the group, that's when you really, really feel the connection. Or in the Rock or on Team Courage. I mean, it takes time for some people to get that comfort level. And I feel like it took me a little bit of time. I was so focused on hitting Success Club, and I was really good at inviting to our challenge groups. I was horrible at inviting to the opportunity. And I really think it was me getting over myself. And that was a huge thing for me, is to just get over myself, let go of my ego, which I really didn't think I had much of an ego until I had to start being vulnerable on social media and letting everybody know what I was doing. I did write down a few things. One thing, I have some things up on my wall here in my office, and when I'm really struggling, I have to read through some things. Oh, I know what I'll show you guys too. I made a little poster board that I've just started putting little quotes on. We did a little bit of this for our retreat, but I did it just for me, for just to have things to remind myself why I'm doing this and why it's important to share. One main thing is we're offering an opportunity. Like, we're not just selling something to somebody saying, hey, come sign up and be a coach. This is awesome. This is great. It's like, no, we do this to change people's lives. Like, we have a passion for helping people, or we wouldn't be doing this. I mean, there's great other MLMs out there, but we're not just selling a pair of pants. Like, we're actually helping people. I mean, I want to share something real quick, because I don't want to go over my time or anything. I don't think I will. But my cholesterol was so high for years. They've been wanting to put me on cholesterol medication. Most people wouldn't know that. I wasn't horribly overweight, but I was overweight enough that my cholesterol, they were wanting me to put on. And it was back when I was probably 30, my early 30s, maybe even 30. It was when I lived in Boston. And then I was pre-diabetic, and I've been pre-diabetic for a long time. So my family history of cholesterol, high cholesterol, and diabetes, that's insane to me. I mean, guys, if I'm like that, imagine how many other people out there are struggling with different things, whether it be, I mean, I know one of my other coaches, like, one of the reasons why she wants to take some of her weight off is because they're wanting to put her on medicine for high cholesterol. Like, that's horrible, guys. I mean, so if some of us are in that situation, imagine somebody that still has, 100 pounds to lose or something like that, like the kind of stuff that they're really dealing with. Because, I mean, some people, if you're the least bit overweight, if you're 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight, like, you're going to start having some real medical issues, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. So we're giving people a gift here. That's my point. We're giving them a gift. I already said, reaching out to others takes getting over yourself.
Hey, Rebecca, tell them the difference now. Like, share, like you were saying how you're pre-diabetic, but like what you since doing all this.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I felt like I got off on a tangent there. But so, yeah, all of my blood work was horrid. I just had my blood work redone for our health insurance. And no joke, my blood work is the best it's ever been. I haven't even shared this on social media. I can't believe I haven't. I got my blood work back probably a few weeks ago. I'm still kind of flabbergasted by it, because my glucose levels are the lowest they've ever been. I mean, I used to prick my finger all the time. Like, I still have my thing to track, because I was hypoglycemic most of the time and pre-diabetic. And so for me to have my glucose levels under control, I have not had a hypoglycemic episode since I started drinking Shakeology. Like, I don't like to get on social media and try to push Shakeology, because that's really not how we're supposed to market ourselves. But I'll tell you, the passion's there. And I need to figure out, and for me, it's figuring out the best way to say it on social media, which I feel like is just kind of a process and learning. And my cholesterol, it's completely normal. I mean, it's low. It's like in the very, very, very good range. I mean, and this has happened for multiple reasons. It's because I've been drinking the Shakeology. I truly believe that. I've changed my diet. The Shakeology has definitely reduced my sweet cravings. I don't eat sweets near as much as I used to. It's not that my weight has gone drastically down. I mean, I've lost probably 15, 20 pounds, but it's not that my weight has drastically changed. It's that I'm changing what I'm putting in my body, and that I'm exercising. And I haven't even been exercising 5, 6, 7 days a week. I mean, I was very inconsistent for very many months. And I'm telling you guys, you start exercising 3 times a week, and especially if you haven't been exercising prior, it's going to drastically change your metabolic makeup. That's what I'm looking for. Like, how your body metabolizes things. It's really going to change things. So anyway, I can't say enough. If I'm not willing to share that with someone else, it's like, what are we doing this for? You know, like, think about that person that you were before you got into this, before you started a challenge group, before you signed up for coaching. I mean, I really have been trying to dig back into that person, because those are the people that I really want to help. And I think about it, that's another thing, I have to get over myself, because what if Kelly had never shared her story? If she had never shared her story, I was in a very dark place when I reached out to Kelly. Like, Kelly and I met at a Royal Mother's brunch, and I will tell you, I was really struggling. I just hadn't been taking care of myself. I wasn't working out. I wasn't horribly overweight, but I will tell you, my clothes sizes had gone up probably 3 sizes, and I wasn't happy walking in my closet trying to figure out what I was going to wear. None of my pants fit me, which was filtering down on my relationship with my husband, my relationship with my kids, my frustrations. I was just taking things out on everybody. And if Kelly had not shared her story, then I don't know, I might still be in that place. I was not in a very, very happy place. So anyway, let me see what else I was going to cover. That kind of goes back to finding your why, and is it really worth fighting for? That's really been something I've been digging into lately, is what is my why? Why am I doing this? I actually found my vision from back in July after I'd signed up and done some training. And it's good for me to revisit this to see initially why I started, because you can lose that. Because it goes up, the business, I feel like, kind of goes up and down. You get really excited. Last week, I was hammered down, so pumped. I was on top of the world last week, and maybe it was the 3-day refresh today, and I feel like I've bottomed out today. So honestly, them asking me to do this call has been really good for me, because it's made me reread some of my stuff to get myself pumped up again, which I highly recommend that. If you feel yourself getting in a slump, reach out on our page, or if you're going to take notes throughout trainings, look back at one of your trainings. So my vision was, my main thing was happiness. And write down there's different ways to do your vision, but for me, this was a very simple one. And I wanted to achieve happiness by 5 things. Number 1 was serving others, being a good example for my children. Another reason I signed up was to save on Shakeology. Another reason was to bring in some extra income for our family. And then the last one was the community and the accountability. And that was the order. I have them written down, and serving others, being a good example, saving on the shake, extra income, and community and accountability. And I will tell you, probably number 5, the community and accountability, has been the biggest reward for me through all this. I'm earning money. I'm saving on my shake. I'm definitely being a better example for my kids. I mean, they love it. They love working out with me. Exactly, Michelle. Friendships. I mean, it's real. Like, what we post on social media, pictures of us doing these retreats together and working together and doing these calls, like, we're not just joking and acting like we like each other. We actually do. We actually do like each other. I talked about throwing my ego out of the way, and fear, letting go of that fear, guys. There is something that I had to put up here, and I know I've shared this on one of my training calls, but it's like, don't hold someone else's future captive in your mouth out of fear. This is the kind of stuff that I have to do that works for me. I have to put it on a piece of paper, I have to print it out, and I have to post it right in front of me, because fear is what cripples me daily. Like, I deal with lots of anxiety over different things, and I will tell you, if I let fear stop me, I would not send out one invite. I wouldn't post one thing on social media. I wouldn't reach out to anybody and say, hey, have you ever thought of hopping in here? I wouldn't do it. For me, I used to think that it was easier for me not to do it. Now it's actually easier for me to do it. You know, there's that saying, like, which is easier? Is it easier to work out, or is it easier to stay stuck in where you currently are? It's actually probably easier to press play than to stay stuck. And for me, it's easier to send out the invites and know that I'm not holding someone else's future captive in my mouth out of fear. It's easier for me now that I have read personal development, that I've done these trainings, that I've focused on all this stuff, that I don't let it hold me back anymore. And it's because if somebody hadn't reached out to me, I would still be in a pretty tough spot. And you're going to get no's. That is something that I did write down, I know. You're going to get lots of rejections. That was something. Don't be afraid of rejection. And I think in the beginning I was afraid of rejection. And still it's hard. I had somebody today that and I was shocked. I was actually shocked that she didn't want to even do a 30-day free on demand. That it floored me just based on our conversations. But you know what? It's not about me, it's about her. She's got something else going on. And I've learned that through these trainings, personal development, and plugging into these team calls. And it's not about us when somebody rejects us. It's about what is going on in their life. And don't be afraid of it. It's going to happen. And something that I try to always remember is that we cannot motivate the unmotivated. Like, all we can do is throw the opportunity out there, whether it be for challenging or whether it be for the coaching opportunity, which for me, I have really started throwing out the opportunity for coaching, because it's such an amazing opportunity. And if people are passionate about either getting healthy or helping others or focusing more on their nutrition and just want the accountability in the community, this community is actually for them. Like, or if they're trying to get out of their full-time job or their part-time job and need to bring in extra income. I mean, everybody has a different story. And until we start talking to them, we don't really know. And, but I've just started, I'm not scared anymore to offer the opportunity for people. And I'm not quite sure what has changed. Like, Kelly saw a change in me. I'm like, and something did change because I really just threw all these invites out there. And maybe that is, you're right, Michelle. It's probably confidence. Like, I'm really not scared anymore. I'm like, if this is for them, great. If it's not, I'm okay with that too. Like, I'm still going to be doing what I'm doing 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. Like, and guys, I'm a numbers person. I have an accounting degree and I'm a numbers person. And it's interesting because I work both ways. Like, I have such a passion for like helping people and loving people and pouring love into people, but yet I'm all about the logistics and I'm all about the numbers. And guys, this is a really, really good business opportunity. Like, I really believe that you really have to have a passion for helping and loving others, but it's a good business opportunity. Like, do the numbers, look at the successful coaches. It can be done if you do it the right way. And so that's my say so on that. As far as not being afraid of rejections, I also have some will, some won't next. And I heard that on a call not long ago, and I will tell you, it has stuck right here every single time. And I'm like, it's true. Yes, it was Janelle Summers' call. And some will, some won't. I think it was who cares next. I don't really think the who cares part, because I do care. I wish I didn't care so much, because I still do care. But it's like some will, some won't next. Move on. Keep doing what you're doing. and keep taking care of yourself. If you are not taking care of yourself, then like that is the number one thing in this business, guys. And it doesn't mean you have to be perfect. I've never been perfect at taking care of myself since I've been a coach. I mean, I'm not quite sure I'm going to make it through this 3-day refresh. Obviously, I just admitted that I'm still doing caffeine, so that's not 100%. But don't feel like you have to do that. You don't have to be perfect at it. You don't have to be perfect at your program. You don't have to be perfect at your nutrition to be a good coach. I truly believe to be a good coach, you have to have a passion for helping others. You just have to have and you have to be willing to do it though. You can have the passion and not be willing to do it. But if you have the passion and you're willing to do it, it's gonna take you places. You just have to be willing to put the ego aside, invite to the opportunity, invite to your challenges, and I feel like it all kind of falls into place. I remember in the beginning, I kept telling Kelly, I'm like, this is so easy. How is this business so easy? It's not that easy. But for me, the first 3 months went by like a breeze. I don't even know what I hit. I don't even know. Maybe I think I hit like SC10, SC12. Like it was so easy for me. But I will tell you what I was doing different then than I'm doing now. The reason I didn't hit Success Club in December, I wasn't sharing. I wasn't sharing on social media. I wasn't taking care of myself as much as and sharing that. But in the beginning, when I first popped out of the gate, like I was taking care of myself. I was sharing it on social media. I wasn't afraid to tell anyone about it. And yeah, sharing our stories is so important. And it suited me well. It suited me well. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I don't know. I'm trying to think, Kelly, what else you wanted me to share? I really am not sure what completely clicked. Oh, that's funny.
My husband read that book on Sunday, like sat down and read the whole thing. He's like, you really should read this book. I bought it, but it's on vulnerability. That's what getting
What do
naked.
you guys talk about on your team calls? Oh, getting naked.
I love everything you've shared, Rebecca. And I love that it's just good to hear from someone who's tapping into that fire earlier on, because a lot of times like it takes more time for people to kind of step out of their comfort zone. And I don't know what clicked that day either, but that was going to just piggyback and say like that's why events are so important. Getting to Super Saturday, the next one's on April 8th, and Summit in New Orleans. Like we have a house rented, and it's because you see other people, like when you see people like Janelle Summers and Trina Gray share what they've done, you start to see your vision unfold a little more. And what I love is like when I met Rebecca at this Mother's Day brunch, I mean, you never know who this could bless. I would not have thought she would have been a coach on my team. I mean, it's like you talk to somebody and all I knew is I wanted to get to know her. Like we were kind of sharing a little bit. And you can sometimes feel like a connection with someone, like you just want to kind of get to know them. But I would have never thought, and when she was in the challenge group, I remember her first couple of challenges and the struggle. She was reading like 6 books. And I'm like, I read like 6 books at once too. This is pretty cool. But I remember being nervous and feeling like I'm supposed to ask her, but I don't want to ask her, but I'm supposed, and I've been doing this for 3 years and but I just knew if I didn't ask her, I was going to have serious regret. And, because you just don't know. Like, you don't know what it can do for someone. And I love that quote that don't let someone else's
future captive in your own mouth. And that's, I think that if you're struggling, like what Rebecca did was really a great idea. And I would challenge you to do that. Like, print it up. Type it out, print it up. Don't keep someone else's future captive in your own mouth out of fear. Because when you look at your own life, I think I know everyone on this call, something's changed. There's a fire. You found something. And the fact that I think too often we discredit ourselves, that we could be that instrument that is used to make a difference in someone else's life. I know I did when I first started. There's no way I could have seen what our team is today. I never would have. And I didn't think that Kelly would do anything. She was just wanting to be in all my free groups and never buy a stupid challenge pack, But
I bought
Angie
my program off of
the
Amazon.
homeschooling mom of 9 who didn't want to spend money on Shakeology because it was too expensive. You know, like these are the things where we can't put our own thoughts and project them onto someone else, because you know, your life can change, and our life is so enriched by each one of you. So I love that you did that. The second thing I like that you said, Rebecca, was so like remembering what Janelle said, the some will, some won't next. And if we have to, again, even just writing those two things out and putting them up to remember, it's not a rejection of you if someone says they don't want this opportunity. You know, and if you're struggling with knowing how to word your invitation so where it doesn't sound like pushy or it doesn't sound odd, then just reach out the team page, reach out to your coach. That's the kind of stuff we love to do. We want to be needed. So, you know, reach out, because the heart of it, I don't know one person on this team whose heart isn't in the right place.
Yeah.
So Rebecca, I love those that you said that. Thank you so much for hopping on the call too.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I don't remember if I did a video for one of the coaching opportunities or not, but I wrote some of these things down and I wanted to share them here because they're really good, and I should read them before I send out any invites. It's about when we share the coaching opportunity, we need to think of this. If this would help someone in their marriage, would we share it? If this would help someone lessen their anxiety, would we share it? If this would help a mom rebuild her relationship with her children, would we share it? If this would change the future of obesity in children, would we share it? If this would change a culture for someone's family, would we share it? If this would bring happiness back into someone's home, would we share it? If this would help someone overcome their horrible relationship with food, would we share it? If this would help someone lose the weight they need to improve their overall health, would we share it? If this would help some gain the weight they need to improve their overall health, would we share it? I've had quite a few dealing with eating disorders and anorexia and different things, and we've had people on this team that have dealt with things. So we're not always sharing this opportunity for people to lose, believe it or not. If this would help someone overcome diabetes, would we share it? I already touched on that earlier. If this would help someone lower their cholesterol, we share it. And if this would help someone get off medications, would we share it? And I'll tell you, like when I wrote all these out, like it made me cry because a lot of them hit home for me. And it's just like, we don't think of it because I think I sometimes get caught up in just, getting my day done and getting things taken care of. But I mean, it's for real. Like these people's lives are for real. Our life is for real.
And one other thing to think about with that too, and I think you mentioned this at retreat, Rebecca, and I heard another person mention it recently, and it's that statistic that we live in the first generation where parents statistically will outlive their children due to obesity. And a lot of that is due to the fact that people don't know how to eat clean, and mindset, they think they can't afford to eat clean. And they don't know why they should eat clean. They don't know how, they don't think they can, they don't know why. And even in our free groups, we make a difference.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Yeah.
I would, as a little challenge to everyone, because we have the call coming up on the 14th, this is something I'm going to at least be doing. Rebecca, maybe you could screenshot that list and post it in the team page. Would you be comfortable with that? Would you share it? But when you said, which was really huge for me, was think of who you were before, because that is who you want to help. And I was just thinking about that. Like, if you guys think about who you were before this journey, like before being a challenger, before being a coach, and how your life has changed, that I feel like when I think of that, it inspires me to get out of my own way because of how much my life has changed, and I haven't been revisiting that like as much as I used to. And you could just write it on a piece of paper. Before we did this a few months back as like a team, but there's a lot of new coaches, but there was like a piece of paper, you draw a line and you put before a challenger, before a coach, and just write, like who you were and what your life was like. Because when you're talking on social media, that's who you're talking to, because that's who you uniquely can help that like we can't help. We all have a specific person type of, I feel like, people that need us. Like everyone needs all of our different stories together. There's people Michelle can reach that I can't, and vice versa, or Rebecca or Rachel or Angie or Holly, like all of you guys, like we have like that gift, but we have to remember where we were. Cause sometimes like you were saying, Rebecca, how you got kind of like, you get like in a funk a little bit, like when you stop doing PD and you stop following the program. Even then, like my binge eating bad days now are not what they were 3.5 years ago. I might binge on plantain chips and like cashew butter when I used to eat bags of chocolate and brownies by the pan. You know what I'm saying? And then cry in my bathroom, so mad at myself, and like weigh myself 3 times a day. And I haven't weighed myself in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the little victories. I think when you said that, I just think if we could think of that and then make a list of people that maybe you've been afraid to ask, you know, and you don't have, and then like Michelle said, which is great, always ask if you're worried about how to word stuff. Trust me, she had to help me. I used to send out like a volume newsletter of 6 paragraphs on why you should do my challenge group, and no one answered me.
I'll tell you something that definitely changed for me is I feel like when life got busy in November and December, just with holidays and that kind of stuff, I feel like I was almost scripting too much, and I wasn't using the scripts just as a guide. Use the scripts as a guide, but make them from you. And I feel like in January, I was so much more genuine. Like it changed. I thought I was being genuine in November and December, and in my heart, I kind of was, but on the words I was using didn't appear to be.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
With you. I totally agree with you. And that's why I think sometimes if you write something and post it on the team page, it's your words, you can get that vote from the team that's like, that's good, so that you don't have to doubt yourself. Because, yeah, I agree. Like, you want to make it you know, for sure. But this was awesome. Thank you. I mean, I know it ignited me. I'm excited. You know, I'm excited for all of you guys, too, that are new. And it's just nice to have everybody here.
And I feel like even though, like, some of the new coaches that are on here, even if you're still in your journey, like, don't be afraid to share. I think that was kind of what was holding me back, too, is I was still at the very beginning of my journey. And I was just scared to invite to the opportunity. But I'm still in my journey now. Like, I'm still in my journey now. I still have almost, 10 pounds to lose until I'm really back to where, like, I'm really at a good point. Now, I'm obviously healthier now. I'm stronger now. I'm in better shape now. I'm, like, my blood works so much better. So, but, like, I'm still on, we're not finished. None of us are ever completely finished.
You know, I want to add real quick to that, Rebecca, just for especially for new coaches. When I first started coaching, one of my big things was I wanted to be cool. So finally I got to be a gym rat and like the girl who was always working out and perfect. I didn't share my vulnerabilities as much. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Nikki Wheeler. You'll see her on the team page here and there. But I've known her for years. And she ended up signing up to coach, but with my friend Regina, who was still on her journey, had a long way to go on her journey. And she later told me that she signed up with Regina because she was too intimidated and didn't think that she could do what I did. So that's something to remember, is people are not looking for the perfect. And that's what I love about our team, because I see that. Having been on the DC Council, I saw a lot of teams going for the perfect, the sexy body, the hardcore chisel. But what our team offers is the real deal. I'm not perfect, but this is what I'm doing. I'm on my journey. You want to come with me, because they want the acceptance and the belonging, which on the national wake up call today, the girl mentioned that. Like she said, when it was introduced to the team and they warmly welcomed her the way that you guys actually warmly welcomed when I reintroduced Becky today, I just loved the way our team wrapped their arms around her. The way we do that, she felt like she belonged. And that is what really drove her to want to do this business. She felt like she belonged. So when we see new people come onto the team page, whether they're our coaches or not, wrap our arms around them, create that sense of belonging, bring people in, because that's huge and it's key. Anyway, I didn't mean to take over, but what you said really struck a chord.
No. So that was awesome. Do y'all have any questions for Rebecca? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for us to both. I mean, it was fun to add our 2 cents. Does anybody have any questions for her, though? I know. Anybody
I
else?
always need your 2 cents, so that's good.
I like can't sleep Monday nights after these calls. Courtney's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just get all like because I get excited." And he's like, "Okay, this is weird." Well,
I'm sorry my face is all red. I've had a heater on me in my office. I just realized my face is so red, but it's warm. I have my little space heater.
I was drinking my shake earlier and I got so cold I had to put the heater on my feet. Well, thank you so much. I'm really excited, guys. If you have other questions after this, I'll post a recording. We're really blessed. This team is a gift. Definitely check out Super Saturday. We'll be posting where we're going. Like some of us, like Michelle's in the DC area, or she might be going to around that area, and then we're in the Ohio area. So we'll post kind of where we're going. But there's ones like in Indianapolis and Kentucky and New Orleans, and they're everywhere. And then for Summit, if you want to go, we have space in the house and we can get you set up, because that's part of like what helps to click with this whole vision, and is to tap into that community, and to meet people from the team in person is always awesome. So thank you so much, Rebecca. This was awesome. You guys have a good night, and see you on the team page.
Thank you.
Bye.